Welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host Derek Stevenson. And yesterday they had reported Tom Brady was hanging it up, man. But as I'm sure everybody's aware, by the end of the day, his father had made a statement where he corrected it, and he let everybody know that the the rumor that Tom Brady was retiring was a false rumor, and they had said that Tom Brady hadn't made his decision yet. Um, he was still weighing his options, and I ultimately, you know, you never really can tell with Tom Brady, man. Tom Brady's just one of them dudes that you just don't know how long he's gonna play, man. And the thing is, I think it's really hard for guys like him to just walk away from the game because he's still so young, right? So what I mean by that is in professional sports, he's a dinosaur, man. He's super old, right? Most professional athletes' careers is like four to like 6 years probably. Um, and when you're able to play like 18 to 20 years, it's just almost unheard of, and it's not really well, I'll say it's mostly due to just your body just gonna give out on you, man. Even if you take all the precautions and you eat healthy, exercise properly, it just gets to a point where your body just isn't going to be able to respond the way it did when you were younger. And I feel like certain guys like Tom Brady, and the majority of athletes get pushed out of the game, right? They unfortunately they don't get to choose when they retire. The game retires them, because they lose their ability or they get replaced by younger athletes, and so it's not many situations like a Tom Brady situation. But when you do see those rare occasions, sometimes it's confusing to people because a lot of people are looking at it and they're like, you know, Tom Brady is almost unanimously considered the GOAT at this point, right? Um, 7 Super Bowls. You know, it'd be hard to argue that anybody's had a career better than him almost in any sport, but definitely in football, right? But it's only a few athletes in general in professional sports that could say they had a career that as accomplished as Tom Brady is. And I think the reason why it's hard for him to walk away is because he's just so young in life, right? Like he's only 42, I believe, and that's still really really young. And it's like you asking a guy that's still really young, he still feels really youthful, to just go sit down and be old, right? And I think that's hard for a lot of people because your average American citizen, right? you know we probably going to work 30 years at our job, probably going to retire when we somewhere around 65. Some of us maybe even might go to 70. So when you comparing 65 to 70-year olds to somebody retiring in their 40s, um that's just so young, man, and he's just got a lot of life to live. And a lot of them, it's probably tough to figure out what to do next, and it's probably scary, you know what I'm saying? Cuz you've been doing something for 20 years professionally, and then all of a sudden you just can't do it anymore, but you still have a lot of energy, you still feel young, um and you just don't know what to do. And I felt like the late Kobe Bryant was going to struggle with that, actually. And RIP to Kobe, but he actually he found other things that he was passionate about. he started producing films and documentaries. Um, you know, he uh he became very active in his daughter's sports career. Uh, R.I.P. to Gigi. Um, so he kind of just figured out a way to make the transition and continue to have things that he loved that he could focus on after basketball. And when Michael Jordan, when he walked away, I think I would say I feel like Michael Jordan likes competing more than he likes just specifically playing basketball, right? Like I think he loved the game, but I think he loved competition more than he actually loved basketball. And I think as long as he felt like he had other things that he could do to compete, whether it be golf or fishing or gambling, different things like that, I felt like he would be okay, because it just seemed like that's what drove him more than anything, was just competition, right? And I felt like when I watched The Last Dance, I felt like he kind of basically, they showed him in his hotel room one time, and it looked like he just was kind of unhappy being like a superstar that couldn't move around and do regular things. Um, and I think it's like, like after games, he didn't want to be stuck in a hotel room. He wanted to just be able to move around, and if he wanted to go gamble in Vegas, or if he wanted to go play some golf, like I think he just wanted to be able to do the things that he liked to do. And I don't necessarily feel like playing basketball was always at the top of his list. But when it comes to Tom Brady, I really don't know that much about Tom Brady outside of football. So I don't know if he has other things that that he would like to pursue after football. I don't, a lot of professional athletes try to transition into sports broadcasting, and a lot of them actually do, and some of them become decent. And but it's only so many jobs that can be had in that field, and then you have to venture out into other things. And I'm not sure, what Tom Brady's next phase of his life will be, and it could be scary to him, man. He just might not be sure of what to do next, and some people don't deal well with change. Like, maybe just the thought of him not having football is scary, and it just makes him want to hold on to it. And a lot of people were saying that his wife is pressing him, and they talking about how he's missing time with his kids, and everybody. It seems like everybody feels like he's like they're trying to decide for him that, like, all right, brother, it's time for you to be at your kids' games, and it's time for you to be at home with your family, and you never know, man. You just don't know what type of a person he is. He That just might not be what he wants to do or who he is, you know what I mean? And it's not really anybody's job to try to make that decision for him. But it almost seems like everybody, well, not everybody, but it seems like a lot of people want him to walk away from the game, and he may not be ready. And it wouldn't shock me either way. Like, if he walked away, it wouldn't shock me. If he came back for another season, it definitely wouldn't shock me. You just never know with Tom Brady, man, because it just seems like he loves playing football, and maybe he just maybe that's just what's most important to him, and no matter what other people think it is, maybe that's just number one. I was actually watching uh a episode on Skip Bayless's new podcast that he has. I was watching on YouTube, and he was talking about how his first marriage didn't work out because he had told his wife that you know he uh he was married to the game, man. Like that's what he told her basically. Like I'm married to sports. So he really didn't want to have children, and he had to let her know, and eventually it caused some conflict, and they ultimately divorced. And he said when he met his new wife Ernestine that the first time they went out together, like he let her know, he was basically telling her, I think he said he told her on the first date actually that if it goes anywhere, if it gets serious, you have to be aware that he does not want to have children, and he he is going to put sports in his career number one, and you're just gonna have to be willing to accept being number two. And he made a joke that she was cool with it, and now she likes to look at herself as more of a 1A instead of a two, which if that works for them, that's lovely. But some guys are just like that, man. Some guys are just into their careers like that, and that's what's important to them. That's what gives them a purpose in life. That's what makes them feel fulfilled. You know what I mean? Um, you can look at the money, you can look at the accomplishments, and be like, man, you got enough money, you got you've accomplished everything you could want to accomplish, and you can try to you know make the assumption of what the person should do or how they should feel based on um, what you think their life should be like. But ultimately, you know, it might not have anything to do with how much money they made or, you know, how much they've accomplished. It just might literally be that's just what's important to him. That's just what he wants to do, and you just never know, man. But you know, either way it goes, man. Salute to Tom Brady. If he does decide to hang it up, man, we gotta respect his legendary status in the game. He gave us a great career, man, and a lot of amazing moments and memories. And we may not ever see another person like that. It'd be hard to it'd be hard for me to believe I'll ever see somebody actually win 7 Super Bowls, man. So right now, you know, I think I would just have to say that I'm you know, extremely fortunate that I've been around to see a lot of great athletes, man, and he's definitely one at the top of the list. You could make a case that he might be the greatest athlete of all time. Um, he definitely would probably be in my top 5 of athletes that I've seen. I might have to say Tiger Woods might be my number one. Michael Jordan and Serena maybe my 2 and 3, and then I might have to put Tom Brady number 4 for me. You know what I mean? But some people might have him higher than that. But either way, man, respect to Tom Brady, man. I wouldn't mind seeing him come back and give it one more run, man. But he gotta do what's best for him, man. But let me know, what do y'all think, man? Do you think he's done? Do you think he's gonna give it another shot? Um, it's really hard to tell for me, man. So you let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think, man. Is he coming back? Is he coming back to Tampa? You know, I heard some rumors that he always wanted to be a 49er. Do you think he would play for another team? Wait, just let me know, man. And we'll get back at it next time on Sports and Discourse with Derek Stevenson.